Hi, I'm Jerry Dreger, Dreger's International Classic Sales in Seattle, Washington. We're here at Dreger's Clubhouse to show you this beautiful 1937 four-door slant-back sedan. Now it's been off the frame. It's got new paint in it. The interior looks like it's been all redone. This car came out of an estate, so we can't tell you a whole lot about it. I don't know how many miles are on the engine or anything like that. I've driven it quite a bit now, and it runs and drives good. I mean, the tires are like brand new, and the underside is beautiful. We found one small spot of repair, and I'm not even sure if it was rust, but they did lay some fiberglass underneath, and you can see that in the underside video photos when we show them to you. Anyway, I think you'll be real happy with this car. It's a great car. Now, looking at the driver's side of this, I see a little spot here in the paint, and it doesn't show up much, but there's a little spot there. They probably could have prepped it better right in that one spot. I don't know. This is out of the window felt here is kind of coming loose a little bit. But the paint, otherwise, the running boards all look good. The doors, they open and close good. You gotta close them though. They don't just go shut by themselves like some cars will. This window, I noticed, it winds down, but it has a little bit of a problem. You got to kind of help it along, and when it comes up the same way, you got to kind of help it. But they do work. So you can see it closes again. This one, well, I didn't get it closed all the way. That one closes good. This window works good. These are neat on these windows here. They roll up. Now I notice right here, I can stick my hand through there, that's your vent. So as you crank it forward, it closes. So you're going down the road, that's for the smokers, I guess, in the old days, so they could flick their butts. I don't know. Anyway, it's a way of getting vent in there. And that works good. And we have a mirror on here. It's got a mirror on the other side too, so you got dual mirrors. Everything else, oh, there's a scratch in the paint right there. There's another little mar on the paint. There's a chip in the paint. I mean, there's nothing giant. It's not a show quality paint job, but it looks really good. We haven't done anything to it. We have not waxed it or anything. This is just the way this came in. Oops. These are pretty cars. You know, the hood, everything, and these teardrop headlights on here, and of course that says Ford right on there, so they're original and everything. Chrome is beautiful on here. There's a turn signal right there. Grill looks all good on here. This all looks good here. Again, that's a Ford script on there. We're missing the lens on here, and Andrew's been looking, but whether we'll find one or not, I don't know. I've never seen a light that looks like that. Otherwise, this front end all looks good. I mean, there's a chip or two here and there on the paint, but other than that, it looks good. Now to open the hood on here, you just twist the hood ornament. And you lift up. Our Flathead engine's there. Normally right back here, there's a bracket that goes down there that holds the hood up. So it is not there, so you have to either prop it up somehow or another. And you just close it back down and twist it. That's never going to come off. Now you have two forms of ventilation in here on the front. We have this vent right here on the top of the hood. You can open and close with a lever underneath the dash, and then on top of the dash, right above the radio dial, there's a hand crank right here. You can open the dash up and get some air in here this way. So you get a lot of air in here, and it just closes down, and this works real good. Also, we have the radio antenna knob. The radio doesn't work because the whole radio is not there, but you can see we got it's hard to get it in that notch. The other end of this thing, the wipers do not work. We played with it, and you have to have it running. It's a vacuum system, and I'm sure you could get it fixed if you wanted to. We're not messing with it, and I don't think you want to drive this thing in the rain anyway, do you? And if you get caught, you know, you wax the windshields and the rain will roll right off. Passenger side on this car looks just good. It's got like new tires on here, and of course you can see there's the stock wheels on there with the beauty ring. Paint looks good. There's a little spot. I mean, you can find a few little spots. There's a little, oh, that one came off. So, you know, you just got to look a little bit. Everything looks good on here. The running boards all look good. The doors look good. Now, we tried this door lock, and it does not work on the key does not work, does it? So, that's something you want to know. The window rolls up good, and it's got a crack in it right there, just so you see. And it's got the same vent thing here too, both sides, just like the driver's side. Now this door you got to close with a little bit of force. See, I didn't get it all the way. It's just the way it is. It works good. This window is kind of the same as the other one on that side. It rolls down good, but when I tried to roll it up, I got to kind of jockey it a little bit. Stuff like this is all fixable if you want to spend the time doing it and everything. I mean, the door jambs all look good, and it closes real nice. Oh, there's a little chip right there. So you got a few little spots in here. That's just, oh, that was just wax, beeswax looks like. Anyway, you can see the tires are on here good. The welding in here is all real good. Everything looks good. I'm sure when they painted this, they put new welding on here. I mean, the fenders were off of this thing when they painted, or you wouldn't have this welding in here. You can see the back end is great. Everything looks good. The chrome hinges look good. The bumper looks real nice across here. The bumper guards look good. And of course, we got the dual tail lights because it is a deluxe. And I don't see any, well, that rubbed out too. I mean, we haven't done anything to this car. We haven't washed it or anything. We just have driven it, and it runs and drives great. Now, when we got it inside, and we got the lights on here, I want to show you the trunk real well. I noticed a bad spot right there. Anyway, I didn't want to not point it out to you. Anyway, the trunk is in great shape, and I got something neat to show you in here. Not the car cover, which comes with it. No, I got another thing here that's really neat. Actually, I got two things I'll show you in this car. Look at this. That's the engine crank. You know, I've been doing these cars a long, long time. You know how many times I've got a car with an engine crank? This might be the only one I ever got. Just tells me that this car hasn't been played with and hadn't had a lot of owners. It's probably been like a 2-owner or 3-owner car, and I mean, that's just incredible. And I tried to put it in and get it to work. It gets right close there. I suppose I played with it, but I don't want to try cranking it anyway. So, but it's just neat that it's got that piece. And here we got all this right here. You see there's spare right here. It's an old style pair. You got this rack up here to lay stuff on. I mean, everything looks good. That's coming a little loose on here. On this underside of the trunk looks okay. I mean, we haven't cleaned on here or anything. It's just the way this car came in. Now we stopped so we could get another position on here and the light so you could see down in here well. And we noticed some fiberglass on the other side. But I have a magnet here, and I checked it out, and that sticks, and that sticks. But it might have had some holes in it. I don't know. It's hard to say why they did what they did. Now I want to show you something really neat. This is another one of those things that's neat on this car. That's in here. Look at the jack. Is that jack not neat? Look at that. Isn't that great? I mean, it just, I'm not sure I've seen one like this. I assume that's original Ford. Even got a tire iron with it and stuff. Look at that. I mean, this car, this side is the same way. The magnet, it sticks everywhere. See that? I mean, it just sticks just fine. So there's metal there. I don't know why they put the fiberglass on the bottom, but maybe it was it was holy, is my guess, or they felt necessary to do it. Anyway, as you can see, it's a pretty neat piece, and I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. I like finding cars and surprises like that. And of course, now we got this light in the way. Let's back this light up a bit, and we'll close this lid for you, just so you can see it. This lever right here, you push ahead to hold it, and then lift up a little bit, and pull back on it, and just drop. Now this 37 Ford, the new cars don't have anything over it. Notice it's got a steering lock on it right here. We have put the key in. You can't turn the ignition on either until you turn the deal. You see this little piece here came out. Now you can lift the starter up. Now it's got a starter button right over here. Usually on this thing, when it's been setting for a little bit, you just push down once or twice, push the starter, and it starts right up. Runs just fine. And it just, there you go, and it's locked. Now another feature on this car that I like, and I've added to many flatheads. Flatheads are kind of that way, especially 6 volt. You have to turn the ignition on, and then right here, underneath here is a switch. It's an electric switch. I don't know if you can hear that buzzing or not, but that's electric fuel pump. So when a car has been sitting for a month or something like that, and you want to go start it, you start the electric fuel pump up, let it run, and then you can start it. And then when it's running, shut it off, because it runs just fine on the stock fuel pump. And it's just a thing to help start it when it's been sitting. Really works neat. The other neat feature on here that has been added, it's got turn signals. So you got turn signals on it, and which is not normal. Now this doesn't work. And you notice this is a banjo steering wheel. It's got the deluxe steering wheel on it. There's a button underneath here, the dash, for the horn. We got a Vote for Stevenson button up here, and this is the controls right here. I don't know if you can see them right here for the windshield wipers. And again, like we told you, they do not work. You can see that the amp gauge goes up and down, and you can see the oil working. Also, we've been driving this thing on the freeway, and the temperature is working good, and we're almost out of gas. And it works. Speedometer works good, and it's pretty accurate. Yeah, now the emergency brake is right there. You just pull up on that, and you squeeze it, push it back down. It shows 86,418 miles. Have no idea. I set the trip meter on here, and I didn't set it right away. I put 95 miles on it since I set it. It works. This is your choke. This is a hand throttle, cigarette lighter, and it looks like it was used at some time or another. This is but it doesn't hardly pull out. You can tell nobody's used it. This switch, we don't know what it does. And of course the radio does not work, because it's just all you have is this head here. The original radio sits way back up underneath there, and with cables to here. And the dash looks real good and everything, and glove box looks just fine. You can see the door panels are all nice in here. Door handles are good, and of course we showed you how they work and everything. The interior, you know, it's not a mohair like it would have been original, but it looks nice, and it could have been a little tighter fit on the upholstery, but other than that, I don't see anything wrong with it. Now you can see all this looks real good and nice. Doesn't even look like this has been set in. Probably has. The headliner is beautiful in here, as you can see. All looks good. The trim around all the windows is nice. It's been painted, it all matches. It's not done in a wood grain, but it looks good. This door panel all the way over here, it all looks just fine. I think you'd be real happy with the interior in here. Now, as you can see, this headliner it's all beautiful. It's all been replaced and everything, and of course the visors look good. All this it all looks good. Now, Andrew and I have both looked this 37 over really well, and this is the only spot that I've seen any repair work done on it. It's got some fiberglass on this underside here. Other than that, the whole thing is just solid. Looks great. We found no rust anywhere else. Okay. As you can see, everything is stock underneath here, and everything's good. The gas tank looks good. Here we have an electric fuel pump, and this is auxiliary, so for starting it when it's been setting for a long period of time. But everything else looks good. The floor pans, frame, and all that looks really good and solid. I mean, I look at all this all the way across the floor pans. You can see how good and solid they are. Now maybe they're new floor pans in there. I don't know. I doubt it. They look old to me, and everything. Everything looks good. I mean, it's good and solid. Okay. Again, we look at this frame. It's good and solid. We don't see rust in here, and I believe that this is a frame off restored. We don't know. It came out of an estate, and so sometimes you don't know all the history on it. But there's a brand new bolt through there. There's another head right here you can see. And there's another one over there. I mean, all sorts of new bolts coming down on this thing, holding the body onto the frame. Now this 37 is all stock, but it does have hydraulic brakes, so it's the only thing that's not stock on it. And that's a good feature. We like to see these old cars with the hydraulics. They always stay in adjustment much better. Good. And you can see the bottom of the transmission here all looks good. Mounts look all fresh there. Engine looks decent. I mean, it is not painted up here. I mean, it could be painted. And I see at one time this thing was yellow on the frame here. And anyway, I see some paint. There's a little more yellow up that way, but oh, and here's some more yellow back here. So, but other than that, everything looks great in this car. And there, of course, at the front of this car, it all looks good. I mean, the metal, everything looks really good on here. Some more yellow paint. I guess we could have got in there and painted that black, but you know, you got to have something for you to do when you buy this. There's your horn and the bottom of your radiator. You can see all the axle looks good, and the backing plates all look good. I think you'd be very impressed with this car, the condition of it. Going up onto the freeway now, onto I-5 going northbound. Now you can see this car and you can get a good idea what it looks like. I'm doing 60 right now on the speedometer, and I know it's accurate because I checked it out beforehand, so I know it's doing well. This thing runs down the road nice at 55. 60's okay too, so it gives you a chance to see how it works. It works good. I'll step on it again here so you can see it go by. Now you can see the other side of it. Get an idea what it looks like from the passenger side. I think you have a good time with this car. Well, we're back to Seattle. Actually, we're back to Drager's Clubhouse, and I hope you enjoyed the drive. And if you're interested at all, give us a call, 206-533-9600. I think you'll be real happy with this car.
On behalf of my father, Jerry, and myself, I hope you enjoyed our video and got a better feel for what this vehicle is all about in its overall condition.
Thanks, Andrew and Woody. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our video, and you ever come to Seattle, we'd really like to have you come in and see Draeger's Clubhouse. You can see some of the things we have here. We do motorcycles and all sorts of stuff, and we have a great time here. And Draeger's Clubhouse is just one of those fun places. Everybody'd like to have one like this. Draeger's, 206-533-9600.